Hey guys, I'm Maggie, and today we're going to be talking about the effect that the government's funding has on public schools. So, as some background information, Betsy DeVos is the current United States Secretary of Education, and she has never attended a public school. The main focus of her job is to oversee funding and regulations for schools in America, a big part of that being public schools, considering that's where over 90% of our students get their education. So as a part of her job description, she had to create a 2020 budget request that is the entire education department's funding for the year, whatever gets how much money. And within this budget request, she targeted public schools in many different ways through Special Olympics, through school vouchers, and through student loan forgiveness. And this is how. So for Special Olympics, she decreased funding for this nonprofit organization by $17.6 million. $17.6 million. So, Special Olympics is a nonprofit organization that is a sporting event or a sporting competition for students who have special needs, and it gives them something to work towards. It gives something that determines them. And the reason why this only affects public schools as opposed to charter and private schools is because public schools is where students who have special needs are. Charter schools and private schools rarely have a special education program solely because they are not required to do so by law. So this is how her price reduction or her budget reduction to Special Olympics is targeting public schools, because the students who partake in Special Olympics go to school at public schools. So I have here a quote by a Special Olympian named Derek Schottel that says, "We're all humans just like everybody else. We can do great things in this world. No matter what happens, we want to continue to bring love and joy to people around the world." I just wanted to give a mindset that someone who is directly affected by this has. Derek Schottel is someone who has been training and working towards Special Olympics for 18 years. He said for those 18 years, the Special Olympics has been his main focus, something he has been working towards. And this budget reduction threatens to take that away from him. And when Betsy DeVos was questioned about this, she stated that Special Olympics is a nonprofit organization, and it doesn't require extra funding because of all of the fundraising that it gets from third parties, which is true. A lot of people do fundraising for Special Olympics, and that's a great thing. But if her main focus was outside funding when creating this budget, she wouldn't have increased funding for private school vouchers because they receive expensive tuition from all of their students. So more about these vouchers. Betsy DeVos, in her budget, increased the funding for charter school vouchers and private school vouchers. As I said before, these private schools do not need extra funding from the government due to the fact that they receive expensive tuition already. I did some math, and the average private school has just over 400 students, and the average tuition for a private school is about $10,400. If you do the math, that is over $4 million of income from tuition that a private school receives. So if she, excuse me. So did she really need to increase funding for private schools when they receive so much funding from tuition? And another thing is that she increased the funding for charter schools. And charter schools have a failure rate of 25%. That's 1 out of every 4 charter schools that fail. So why would she increase funding for something that's failing? There's a quote from Mark Pocan. He's a senator of Wisconsin, and he said, increasing funding for something that's failing on that level is like when your tire goes flat on your car, you just put another tire on another spot instead of fixing what's wrong with that tire. And that's kind of what she's doing with this budget. So these vouchers are taking money directly from public schools funding and putting it right to charter and private schools. And next we have the student loan forgiveness. Student loan forgiveness is something that has allowed many students and many future teachers, past teachers, current teachers to go to college and get that education to become a teacher, because they have this opportunity to relieve so much debt from school. Teachers can qualify for this by either working in a high need area such as low income schools, or working in a high need position such as math teachers and special education teachers. The teachers who qualify may earn up to $17,500 in student loan forgiveness. Now, if you look at a North Carolina's teacher's base salary, it's $37,631, and 17,500% is 46.5% of their annual salary. So this student loan forgiveness program is potentially saving a teacher almost very close to half of their annual salary. And the reason why this affects public schools is that within this budget, Betsy DeVos has decreased the funding for public school teachers' loan forgiveness, but has maintained the funding for charter school teachers and private school teachers. So this could potentially lead to newly graduates turning to teach in charter and private schools in order to get the full amount of student loan forgiveness, and can then lead to larger class sizes within public schools. And those have been proven to lead students to not performing as well academically. So, in conclusion, this 2020 education budget proposed by Betsy DeVos is not giving, or will not give, students all the skills and resources they need to have a sound and solid education within the public school system. And this will ultimately lead to a decline in the way students perform in public school. Thank you.